The Vlookup function is a nice feature in Excel if you want the program to look up a value in one table and put it into another. So for example, we have a table here that lists the names, the top 10 boys and girls names in 2008 for the state of Illinois. And let's say we want to match from those names what were the top 10 names for boys and girls of all the US. So we'll go back to our Illinois tab here and click on the Insert Function icon. It'll bring up Insert Function window. Type in Vlookup to go search for it. We have it here, but just in case you don't have it here, we'll go search for it. You have it highlighted here and click OK. Now the lookup value is going to be the value you want to be looked up. In this case, we want to look up the name. So we click on that cell, and it'll bring us that name. The table array is the other table that we want to look up the value in. So we want to look up the value in the table in the US tab. So we go ahead and select this table, the values in this table. Now we want to press function, the F4 key, to give us a absolute reference. You'll see why we did this in a couple minutes. Now with the column index function, what we want to do is input the number column of that table. So in this table there's two columns, this first column here and the second column here. We want this column index to be the first column because that's the area where the name lookup is going to occur. We want to look up the name in this column and compare it with the name in the Illinois table. So that's going to be the first column. The ranged lookup is going to be either the values of true or false. True indicates that we want the closest match. So say for example the name is Alex. Alexander is probably the closest match. Or do we want an exact match? And we would put in the value of false. So we want to look up Alexander and match it up to the other table that says Alexander. In this case, we want to look up an exact match. We don't want a close match. So we put in false. We click OK, and there we have it. So Alexander is a match in the US tab in this column, in this column of this table. Now I mentioned before earlier we wanted an absolute reference by indicating the dollar signs before the cell numbers. The reason why is once we copy this formula down to the other cells, it will keep this absolute reference of A2 to B22, which is this area in the column, this column area for the table. If we didn't put an absolute match, it would shift once we copy down the cell, it would shift these cells to the next cell. So what we have a fill handle here. This is called a fill handle. There's a little square box near the cell. We go ahead and double click on that and it will fill the formula down. So you see the formula here? It fills the formula down for all the cells. See as it goes down to A8 and A9. See how it does that? But it keeps this reference the same. So you see here the Vlookup looked up the names. It looked up the names here with the names in this table and brought back the match. If it matches the other table, it brings back the name. If it doesn't match the table, it gives you an NA. So in short, that's a brief overview of the Vlookup function. Thanks for watching.